I believe that the fires we're cast upon on the flames we shall become. I believe in a common calling where our temples pray as one. I believe in the word of wonder and a kingdom for the saved.
This is Larry Pollock, Luke Carroll with Leo Mayerhofer coming to you from the Underground Performance Gym podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the video. It helps the algorithm and helps so we can bring you more content. So today we want to talk about the culture of bodybuilding, and we'll get into a little bit of that. So last week we talked about an incident that happened in a gym where professional bodybuilder Patrick Moore, who was 6 weeks out from the Arnold Classic, got into a brawl with the gym manager in the back of the gym, and basically it stemmed from him not paying his trainer rent, and he owed several months of back rent, and he didn't pay it, so the trainer and him got into it, and they had a fight in the back, and then after the fight was over, Patrick Moore went and on camera told the police that the gym owner was a steroid dealer and he was going to call the DEA, and this is all on recording and everybody heard it. So I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with this story. Well, subsequently after that, on Heavy Muscle Radio, on RX Muscle on Sunday night, Dave had Armin Adibi and Chris Aceto on there. Armin Adibi basically was saying that, you know, he had spoken to the gym owner, and the gym owner was basically saying that, you know, Patrick Moore is a snitch, and he told that side of the story. And then Patrick Moore came on, and he said, well, yeah, the gym owner called the police, and so there's no rules at that point. I could say what I want. So he admitted to doing the snitching part. And then Armin said that, you know, there's a code amongst bodybuilders. You know, we all used gear, sold gear, are involved in it in some kind of a way. Obviously, to be a bodybuilder at that level, you're using stuff. If you're not selling it, you're at least using it and buying it, which in that in itself is, I believe, breaking the law. And Chris Aceto, who's a top trainer of all these pros that all use gear, said, yeah, you know, like, what code? Like, what does that matter? Like, this is bullshit. Like, it's okay that he ratted. And I saw when he did that, Dave Palumbo's face was like, because Dave, you know, is not stupid. He saw, he's like, uh-oh. But then Dave tried to, like, clean it up by, like, kissing Patrick Moore's ass and being like, oh, yeah, I see why you did that and whatever. Meanwhile, they were, Chris Aceto and Patrick Moore just ran all over Armin Adibi because, you know, I guess Armin was intimidated to talk back to Chris Aceto, and they just shut Armin up, so Armin didn't say anything after that, and they just let them run their story. I was actually watching that live, and I was putting online, let me come on there, because I wanted to blast them. And I even texted Dave during the show, put me on. And Dave said, text me back, we'll talk about it on After Hours. So After Hours came, and I was completely prepared to tell my story because I actually spoke to the gym owner through text and got the whole side of his story, saw all the text messages between him and Patrick Moore leading up to the thing, and saw the videos of him snitching, heard the whole story. You know, basically what happened was the police were called. Now, we don't know who called the police. First of all, Patrick Moore says that the gym owner called the police. The gym owner says Patrick Moore called the police. The truth is, we don't know who called the police. My thinking is they were out there fighting. Maybe the front desk girl called the police. Maybe one of the members called the police. Anybody could have called the police. Mm-hmm. No one knows. But when Patrick Moore did his snitching, at that moment, he didn't know who called the police. because anybody could have called the police, and we still don't know who called the police. So him saying that, he called the police so I can be a rat, that's nonsense.
Yeah.
And
especially when he says and claims that he's the victim. Why would he have to add something to the story?
well, in the text messages between him and the gym owner leading
I'll put
up
the text messages up here so that everyone can read through and kind of get the context. I haven't read them yet, but I think from what Larry said, basically Pat said he was going to come down and kick the guy's ass. On Heavy Muscle Radio, Pat kind of said that he thought the guy said, come down and we're going to run it back or something like that. So maybe Pat came down thinking they were going to fight. I mean,
well, first Patrick Moore contradicts himself because he's lying.
Okay.
And he says he didn't think they were going to fight.
Yeah, he did. He said he didn't think they were going to fight. And then he kind of said they were. It's hard to keep up, but I'll put the text messages up. People can read the context however they want to kind of formulate their opinion.
He tells the gym owner in the text, I'm going to come down there and beat your ass. In so many, and I don't know if I got the wording exactly right, but Armin literally read it.
Yeah.
And he says, I read it. I'm going to come down there and beat your ass. So the gym owner's like, okay, come down here and do it.
My view on it is that I understand Patrick was, all emotional, up in arms because he's just gotten a fist fight with this guy. Maybe he's scared he's going to go to jail for assaulting the guy because he kicked his ass. But he would have kind of looked like the hero if the cops did show up, and he would have just said, hey, this guy came at me because the gym owner did throw the first punches. This guy came at me and I just defended myself. If he would have just left it at that, we wouldn't be having this conversation. But when he took it that step further and he wants to get this guy in trouble, he wants to, rat. I mean, maybe he was just speaking emotionally, but that's just not okay. I mean, rats are just the lowest of low people in every form of life. If someone is a snitch, like they're just a low person. So that's my kind of view on it.
So anyways, we get on After Hours, and Dave is now trying to protect Chris Aceto because Chris Aceto made that comment, and Armin and I are calling out Chris Aceto for basically saying being a rat is okay. And so Dave tries to spin the whole thing and talking about should professional bodybuilders get a free gym membership. That wasn't even really a
changing the narrative.
That wasn't the issue here. I mean, whether he got a free membership or not, that was like a mute point.
I was watching that live, and I was kind of surprised that it took the direction it was, because I thought you guys were going to talk about snitching.
And we were, but Dave kept yelling over me to shut me up.
He steered the conversation, and he even titled the conversation, "Should pro bodybuilders get a free membership?"
And he did this intentionally to divert the attention away from the snitching and the fact that the guy owed money for not paying his dues.
See,
the guy is a deadbeat for not paying his trainer dues, and he's a snitch. So there's two strikes against him right there.
I would kind of have my thought of Dave, kind of trying to go around this, because Dave went to prison, and I think he probably went to prison because somebody snitched. He went to prison for selling fake HGH, but how did they find out about the fake HGH? I don't know. I haven't looked into the case, but probably because somebody snitched. So he should be more offensive about snitches than even just a regular person, because I think he went down for it.
Well, I don't know how I thought too. I don't know how he got busted, but
I don't know either. But typically, if somebody goes down, it's because somebody snitched.
First of all, he was selling fake gear, which
I don't think he knew. You wouldn't know.
He knew.
Maybe
it was fake Serostem, and he had to know. There's no how would he the quantity that he was doing it in.
Maybe somebody was getting him, though. Maybe the supplier was just selling him.
Come on that level, you know what you're doing.
Possibly.
Especially him. Don't you think he was taking the shit? And if he was taking it not knowing, this is not doing anything?
I don't know. That's a Dave. We'll have to ask him. But back to the subject. What are you saying?
Well, again, he just flipped the narrative to take the focus off of the ratting part and change it to should pros get it. And he started blasting me, telling me that I'm being cheap because me and John Romano said, just because somebody's a pro doesn't automatically give them a free gym membership.
Well, let's get into that topic in a minute, but I mean, I think that the kind of the objective of this is the culture of being a bodybuilder at the gym and dealing with gym owners and dealing with your fellow bodybuilders. You kind of are supposed to look out for each other. And just because there's such a small category of gym owners and bodybuilders at a proficient level, I think there's kind of should be an agreement that we're kind of like a protected class within our own realm. If I see Leo training and he's like if I'm down at Gold's Venice and I see Leo and he's looking jacked, there's really not many of us there. So we already have this commonality between us where I'm like, all right, I can go talk to this guy. We have something in common. We have, we go through the same trenches. We're both competitive guys. So I think there's just a level of respect, I think, within people that are athletes, like in bodybuilding.
First of all, when I came up in bodybuilding, I just happened to be at Joe Gold's World Gym, and before that, I was at Don Peters' gym, and there was a lot of pros training there because they were all under Weider contract, and bodybuilding was kind of like a cult sport at that time. And you had the bodybuilders training in the bodybuilding gym, and it was a pretty tight-knit community. Even as a kid in there, I was training with Lee Haney and Gaspari, and all around me were pros training because they could see I was serious about training to compete. And there was sort of a understanding when you see a bodybuilder in the gym, they speak the same language, you guys have the same lifestyle. And, we talked about gear amongst ourselves, but, it's not something we talked about with the general public or anybody else outside of bodybuilding because they weren't part of it. And it's just like being part of a motorcycle club, or if you're a policeman, you're part of the police force, or any organization, you have this group that you're with, and there is a non-written down understanding that, these are your brothers and sisters in iron, we say, and you should support them, not try to put them in jail. Mm-hmm. Now, there's always been, and I'll say this even from back in the day, pieces of shit that do fucking shitty things, that were snitches, were, rip people off. There's always some assholes in everything. And that's not okay. Those people are not okay. It's not okay to you fuck over your person you're supposed to be your brother or your sister, and say that's okay. That's not okay. I know the general public is like, well, this person breaks the law. Well, first of all, back when I started, steroids weren't even illegal.
They're not even legal in most countries.
And and they're only illegal in this country. So, and, we have our own morality of maybe the general public doesn't think you should take steroids, but people that are in bodybuilding, most of the people are using some kind of performance enhancement. And to you that are competing as a professional and using performance enhancement in any kind of way to turn around and bash somebody else for doing it, that's really hypocritical.
Mm-hmm. It is pretty hypocritical for him to say that when Pat is probably,
right. And for a coach that trains top level bodybuilders that are on probably the most gear of anybody, and he makes his living
coaching,
doing that to a large extent, to say that it's okay to be a rat, that's just really weird to me.
Yeah. I mean, I hope that he was just kind of emotional about it. It's not in his
No,
his personality, but
he tries to defend his competitors, right or wrong.
You're talking
to
Chris
the
Aceto.
death.
Chris Aceto, yeah.
Yeah, no matter whether right or wrong.
Which I can respect that he's like trying to protect his friends. I kind of can respect that.
I get that, but if my friend is obviously doing something wrong, very wrong,
yeah.
like being a rat.
No, Chris was 100% wrong in saying like that's not a thing. It is a thing. You're not supposed to be a rat.
Yeah, I mean you can't justify that.
Let's hop over to the other topic you were talking about that you guys talked about it on Heavy Muscle Radio. There was like 8 guys on. Everyone was trying to yell over everyone, and Dave was yelling over everyone else. Do IFBB Pro bodybuilders deserve a free gym membership? Larry is the only one that's a gym owner out of the 3 of us. Have you ever owned a gym, Leo?
No, never owned a gym.
Okay. So Larry's the only one that's ever owned a gym out of the 3 of us, but Leo and I are professional bodybuilders, so we have the other side of the coin that we can look at. So Larry, why don't you start what your thought is on giving a free membership to a pro bodybuilder?
Let's break this down. Okay, first of all, you have 2 types of gyms. You have commercial gyms like a 24-hour fitness or, Planet Fitness, and they don't give a flying F if you're a professional bodybuilder or who you are.
They probably prefer not to have professional bodybuilders.
Matter of fact, even Planet Fitness, they don't want you there. On their commercials, they advertise the lunk alarm and all this. They don't want bodybuilders in their gym. Then you have gyms like mine, which are hardcore gyms.
The other end of the spectrum.
And we cater to bodybuilders and powerlifters. And we have the heavy duty equipment and the atmosphere and the rock music, and you can use chalk and make noise and train hard, and we're all for that. Okay. Let me just tell you this. In my county, there's one gym that I think is a hardcore gym, and that's mine, and everything else is a fitness center of some sort. So I'm the only gym that like actually caters to bodybuilders. Like I go to that extent. Am I obligated to give somebody a free membership just because they're a pro? I don't think I'm obligated to do that. Now let's say somebody is a pro and they're promoting my gym on their Instagram, and we have an arrangement that, first of all, Luke brought up a good point. At my gym, anybody who brings in a person, whether they don't have to be a bodybuilder or anybody, any member who brings in somebody and they sign up, they get a free month. So if a person is consistently bringing in people, which I have like one guy, he's brought in so many new members. He's just a little Mexican kid, but he brings in so many new members. He never has to pay his gym membership because he's always getting free months. So we already have that built into the system. So whether they're a pro or not. So if somebody's actually bringing in people, they're gonna get a free membership anyways.
So aside, say, I'm sure you've had a lot of pros come in and out and tell you a lot of stories about they're going to be a coach, a trainer, this and that. So somebody comes in and says, "Hey, I got a bunch of clients.
I have
Give
trainers
me
all the time come in. Maybe they're not even pros. They come in and they're like, I'm an independent trainer. I have like 100,000 clients and this huge following, and I want a great deal. I'm going to bring so many people to your gym. La 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 la. And we come up with like some great deal because they're going to bring all these people in, and they're going to get a free membership and everything. And they bring one person or 2 people. And those people drop off after a couple months, and then they don't ever bring anybody else. Mm-hmm. This happens more often than not. So all this hype and talk about like they're going to do so much, I have yet to see it actually come true. Now, I did have a guy who was a old school IFBB Pro. I like him a lot. I liked him so much that I actually gave him a job working the front desk and to be a trainer. And I was paying him to work there. But after just 1 month, I had to let him go. Not because we had a personal problem. I still like him. I consider him a friend. He was incapable of doing the job. Just couldn't do it. Couldn't work a computer. And believe me, God knows I tried to teach him, and I had other people trying to teach him. Couldn't work a computer, and couldn't sign up a training client for the life of him. So he just kept telling me that the young kids coming in there won't talk to him. And he had his signs up and everything, and no one cared. He wasn't producing anything. And I couldn't afford to just keep paying him to sit there all day. Because he was literally sitting there. He wasn't selling supplements. He wasn't selling memberships. He wasn't doing anything. Yeah. He was just...
So your view on it is that if someone comes in and they legitimately have 10 clients that they're bringing in, or well, if they're paying anyone, it doesn't matter who you are. If you're a trainer and you bring in a bunch of clients, you're going to be paying a rent. And your rent is probably going to be what did you say yours is? $250 a week at Gold's Venice, Leo?
Yeah, it's per month. Yeah, 1,000.
It's $1,000 per month. So does Gold's Venice give you a free membership for being a trainer at the gym, or do you have to pay an extra $100 a month on top? No,
that's included.
Okay, so yeah, that's what I'm getting at. If you are a trainer at a gym and you're paying a rent, then it's going to be within that 1,000 is your membership as well. And then if you are...
But I think it makes total sense to actually separate that. If they would let me pay the membership $100 and then have 900 rent, it would make way more sense, because if a trainer wants to cancel,
then they stay.
It's way easier.
Yeah, true. Then they can just stay. So I mean, maybe that's another thought too. That, but Larry doesn't even have really trainers in his gym. I don't know if you would take one, but mostly he just does. Trainers are employees of the gym that he.
I don't have independent trainers, and the reason I don't is because I've tried to do it, and it just always turns into a problem. There's always there's a problem with them not paying the rent, or they have first of all, I have no knowledge of what goes on between them and their client, so inevitably they get into an issue with their client where the client is claiming that they paid so much money to this trainer, and the trainer flaked out on them and didn't show up, and all these things happened, and then they're coming to me to complain about it as a member, and I'm like, I don't know what to tell you, because I'm not part of this. I don't know who's telling what. Your business is between you and that trainer, and I have no knowledge of it. So I have a system set up right now where, like, my system, it's foolproof. We have every time a training client comes in, their sessions are in a computer. The trainer clicks off the session. The client signs for the session, and the client instantly gets a receipt in their email for that session. So there's no way anybody can say, they didn't get trained, or, I can see who paid what, and this way. There's no, since I've had this in place, there's no issue. There's no issue. Nobody says anything, because they get a receipt, they pay their money, they get trained. It's a done deal. And then I just turn around and pay the trainer, whatever their percentage is, whatever we agree to. And there's no problem there. And because of this, I actually I feed trainers clients. When a new member comes in, we sign them up for an intro to training, and they get put with a trainer, and that's how trainers get clients. So I'm helping these trainers that normally probably couldn't get any clients because they can't sell for shit. And I actually sell a lot of these training packages myself, and then give trainers clients. But I'm helping the trainer do it, and the trainer's working within the system, and everybody, and there's no problems.
Let's hear Leo's thought on being an IFBB Pro. I mean, he works at more of a commercial gym. Gold's is kind of like on the line of commercial / bodybuilding. But
I think no one's entitled to a free membership. everyone's the same. Just because you're a pro doesn't mean you get something for free. Like if Michael Phelps goes into, I don't know, does a public pool class, they are not, if they let him in, it's because they granted,
Hmm.
they're nice.
Yeah.
But he also, it's like if you work in Hollywood and you go watch a movie, are you not going to pay a ticket? Because you say, hey, this is whatever, my production.
That's true.
Like, so I don't know. I think it's, and it depends on the gym you have and the culture and the business you run. If you live on the bodybuilding culture, like Gold's Gym, I think they should do it,
Hmm.
or they should encourage pros to go and
To
train
come in.
there because they claim they're the mecca of bodybuilding. It says it on the wall, on the outside and the inside. They have a huge history. People come there to, you know,
I
and let's say there was no more pro bodybuilder goals
There's
and it
hardly
would
any
look like
now.
an LA Fitness.
Yeah.
People would go in there and be like,
This is
what
Gold's
the hell?
Venice. I thought I'd see Arnold
Yeah.
on the wall.
So,
What the
so,
heck?
so, so like they should be more grateful for the ones that still train there and keep the spirit at least a little bit alive. And I think they should actually, I don't know, maybe anything like whatever, at least give us a few shirts, whatever, like appreciate a little bit that.
Hmm.
I think they should do it.
Well,
Oh,
what you're
I
coming.
think, am I entitled to it? No, absolutely not. And I'm not complaining. I think it's just a stupid move from them.
Yeah.
So it depends on the business you run. If you have a gym in whatever, Alberta, Canada, why would you, like, what's that pro going to do to you that's in the gym? If that doesn't help you and you have like, and there's like, everyone's a pro now too. It's like
Nobody would be paying
people,
memberships.
people, some people can't even really tell if
Well,
that's a pro or
Well,
not.
let
So,
me give you a perspective from a gym owner's point of view.
yeah.
Here's what I get. Do you get discounts for military? Do we get a special deal? Do you get discounts for county workers? Do they get a special deal? Do police get a special deal? Do people that work at the hospital get a special deal?
everyone wants a special deal.
Everybody should get a special deal. It turns into like everybody has a special deal. Then all the deals are special. So then nobody's special because everybody's getting a deal. And
Yeah, right.
everyone asks for this. No
Well,
matter what their profession or job is, they want a special deal. So I tell them, guess what? We do have a special deal. It's called, if you get a longer membership, you pay less. And you get you get a lesser price. Simple.
so going back to what Leo was saying about Golds should try to cater to the bodybuilders. What I think you're talking about is marketing. And then
Yeah.
what that should be is the manager of the gym, the owner of the gym, they should see someone coming in that they can stand on their shoulders and market off of that person's social media, market off. They maybe on your own social media, you can say, hey, whatever athlete, whatever pro athlete works out at our gym. And then I definitely think there's some gyms that have a culture of bodybuilders train here. One that's coming to mind is Gold's Venice. Used to have that culture. I mean, that's why Sergio Oliva moved from Chicago there, because it's like the Mecca. There's supposed to be Tom Platz and like all these, guys training there. So I think that the reason that gym has that image is because they had a lot of guys training there. They let pros train there for free years ago. Another one that's coming to mind is that one in Tampa. What's the name of it?
MY40?
MI40. They really cater to bodybuilders. Now people pay there, but they have like a I don't know if Derek did pay there actually, but because Derek used to be his home gym. But they have like a culture of, if you go to Tampa, that's the gym you go to because it's a bodybuilders. It's an IFBB gym. The same thing with I guess the Mecca, East Coast Mecca, but I mean, Steve makes everyone pay, but everyone's going to pay anyways because he's the head judge of the IFBB and NPC. If I was a gym owner, I would look at somebody. I'll give you another example. There's a gym in Torrance, Dave Fisher's Powerhouse Gym. He lets pro bodybuilders work out for free there, and he had a nice looking gym. So me being a former company owner, whenever I would think of gyms in the area, I actually just wanted to go there. And then Dave is getting free marketing because his gym is in the background of all the shots. Every time I would post something at his gym, I would tag his gym. So he always let us do photo shoots there for free. So what this is coming down to is, do you want to try to market off of this person, and are they useful? And so maybe it's not specifically if they have a pro card, but it's specifically if they can bring in the ROI. Do you make more on giving them a free membership and creating a culture where those people want to come to your gym, or do you make more on if they just pay the membership? So
100%. Yeah.
I pay a membership at Larry's gym. I've been paying it for close to a decade now. I do have other memberships that I get for free in this town. I have 3 other gym memberships that are completely free. They give it to me, and I go there for different reasons, to different gyms. And then I try to shoot content at all of the gyms. I shoot a ton of content at Larry's because he has the best equipment, but I like to do, one gym has a good posing room, another gym has cardio stuff that I like. So I kind of move around, but I definitely wouldn't go to those other gyms if I had to pay $30, $40, $50, $60 a month at every gym. I would probably just go to one gym. So it does behoove them to have me going there. I have 150,000 social media followers. I shoot content there. So it does behoove them to have me as a free member there. I don't know if that's going to be ubiquitous a lot across all pro bodybuilders, or if that's just going to be, they see me, they want to, get that marketing from me.
Let me just say something about Luke's membership. I think you pay what?
$39
a month.
Yeah.
So Luke does.
But I've been there a decade.
Luke does pay his $39 a month membership,
and I have no problem paying it because that's the agreement that Larry and I made, is that I pay this membership, and that's just the agreement that I made with him. If I wanted to make a different agreement, I would have.
And this was back when he first showed up, and I didn't know who he was from anything.
I didn't even have a pro card when I first got a membership.
Right. So, but anyways, at the same time, Luke asks me, I want a pendulum squat. I buy it.
True.
$7,000. I want a specific leg curl that the thing goes down, the seated leg curl that has the thing go down on your feet. $5,000. I buy it.
True. Larry gets me all the gym equipment that I want. So
I probably spent $100,000 on gym equipment that he wants. And I want it too, but I always run stuff by Luke. What do you think about this piece of equipment?
Yeah.
So, he gets what he wants at the gym pretty much.
Yeah. But
I would, you know what? If I'd be Luke, I'd be very happy to pay that, just because I would feel bad to not show appreciation for what I'm getting.
Yeah. Oh, I absolutely. I absolutely love Larry's gym. You come to Larry's gym, it's what you would want in a private gym. If you are a social media person that wants to shoot, his gym, he'll shut off the music for you. It's sometimes it gets busy in there, sometimes it's not. The lighting is spectacular. If you want to shoot content, you go in there. You can go in there, you can pose, you can wear, go down to your boxers. It's a real bodybuilding gym. He's not worried. When people are signing up, he lets people know, we play rock and roll music. They cuss in the music. People scream in here. They're slamming weights. People take off their clothes and pose in front of the mirror. So, it really caters to, being that kind of gym. I can't get that at a lot of these other gyms. Some of them have posing rooms. Some of them don't. But I have a gold gym membership, and you couldn't do any of that stuff there. So they're definitely the freedoms. I have no qualms about paying it. But I'm just saying, if you come to the gym and you talk to him and he looks at your social media and he says, hey, this is great. We want to, you can have a free membership for whatever reason. But that comes down to just if the gym owner thinks that you're worth a free membership. And it comes down to, like I was saying, your return on
Look,
investment.
I was telling Luke earlier, a guy came to me and he was a photographer. And he said, I would like to work an arrangement with you where I'll do photo for you for the gym and in exchange for gym membership. I'm like, okay, that sounds reasonable because I could use good quality photos to, you know, take photos of our powerlifting meets and different things. And, you know, for a couple of years, he was photographing the powerlifting meets for the most part and did some pictures of the gym. And I was fine with that. I could use that stuff that he shot to put on my social media and promote the gym and do other things. But in the last year, I've asked him, you know, like 2 or 3 times to come in and do some shoots, and he's come once.
Yeah.
And
That's the problem.
I asked him a few weeks ago, you know, I'd like to get some big widescreen shots because we got a bunch of new equipment in, and he said, yeah, I'll do it.
Never
and that
did.
was like 4 or 5 weeks ago. He hasn't done it.
That's the problem with giving stuff away as trade, because then, you know, a lot of times people don't keep up their end. I used to have to deal with this all the time as a company owner. People come to me, you know, can you sponsor me? Can this and that? And, you know, a lot of times I just look at them, and some people I did, some people I didn't. It just depended on if I think I could depend on them. But a reoccurring problem was you sign an athlete, once they get a contract, they're just a social media content creator. And sometimes they're a good content creator. They create a lot. Like Derek Lunsford created a ton of content. And sometimes they're not. Someone else, and you get no content from them. You're here paying them a salary, sending them free, you know, clothing, and you get nothing back from them. So.
Or there's another scenario. Somebody's an IFBB pro, but they're an asshole. And I'll give you an example. There's a guy named David Hughes. I competed with him for many years. We had competed against each other. He's a big bodybuilder guy. He ended up getting a pro card as a master's.
Isn't he a coach? Sure.
Yes, but this is about, I want to say this is 10 years,
Yeah.
maybe no, probably 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago. But anyways,
Yeah.
he came to me and he said to me, he wanted to work as a trainer at my gym. And I'm like, great. Sounds great. He's a big bodybuilder. I figured he's been in bodybuilding as long as I have. I've competed against him. He's a pretty good bodybuilder. He'll be a great trainer. Well, guess what? I start feeding him clients because at the time, you know, I just feed trainers clients, and he turns into one of these, what I call the revolving door trainer. What I mean by that is he can't keep a client. All of his clients sign up for a certain amount of sessions, and after 1 month, they're quitting. And every time they're quitting, I'm asking him why do you want to cancel? And it came down to, first of all, he did no free weight training. He just put them on machines, and he would put them on a machine, and Dave would literally sit there on his phone.
He's just a bad trainer.
Eating food, and tell them, okay, yeah, do that machine, do 10 reps. And he would be like on his phone, not even watching them do the set.
He's just a bad trainer.
Let alone instructing them. So I start watching him do this because I have people complaining that he's just not even training me. He's just like not doing it. And that's why they're quitting. And after like 10 people tell me this, and he's only been working for like 1 month, I said, hey, Dave, you know, you can't be like on your phone and eating in the middle of their training session. You know,
do that between clients.
You know, we're losing clients, good clients. I mean, people that have money that want training, but they don't want to train with you because of the way you are. And I said, I will teach you how to train clients because I'm pretty good at it. His ego was too big. He's like, no, fuck that.
Oh my God.
Yep. Okay. So I'm like, well, then I don't know what to tell you. You can't work here because I can't just keep, at the time I had like 6 other trainers. I was like, I'm not just going to keep sending you people for you to eat your lunch all day and just, you know, they didn't care that he had big arms. You know, they're like, this guy doesn't even watch me do my set.
You know what? This kind of goes into another thing that I think is interesting. I've talked to a lot of people that have gotten coaching from pro bodybuilders, and a lot of pro bodybuilders just charge like an extreme exorbitant amount for coaching or in-person training or something like that. And it's just the most generic bullshit, copy and paste, cycle, nutrition, training program that, they wrote one and then they just give it to every single person. So that's kind of an issue that I see from a lot of like older bodybuilders. I've heard, I don't want to put anybody on blast, but I've just heard kind of like horror stories from like people that are national level athletes hiring a, pretty well-known coach. And then they just, they're writing on their name because they were a big bodybuilder in the 1990s. They were an Olympian, and then, and then they're just charging them. And I'm wanting to say it's like a prep is like $5,000 or something like that. It's like $1,000 a month for like a prep. And they're just like, just a super generic, like nothing program, like not responding to them for, 2-3 weeks at a time, just, I don't know. That's kind of an issue that I'm seeing here and there.
That's bad.
And, okay, again, as a gym owner, it's my prerogative to like say I can give out if somebody comes to me and I think they're worth it, maybe I'll give them a free membership. But it's up to me to decide, like, should I do it or not?
Larry's a hard ass. He's not giving away no fucking free membership.
No, he's right.
I think he's right. I mean, honestly, I want to own a gym someday. That's kind of like a thing. I love training. I would like to own a gym, but I will probably have a little bit different of a view on it. I'll probably have a pretty low day pass fee, like probably $10. And then anybody that wants to do photo shoots, you can come to my gym, you can train. I'll kind of cater the lighting to doing social media, doing photos, stuff like that. And I would create just a hangout where, maybe have a lounge area that people can hang out in, just like couches and shit. I mean, have photos, have murals on the wall where people take a big, kind of like Flex Lewis's gym. They take a photo in front of the mural. That's kind of that's in my opinion, the like new age bodybuilders gym mecca. Is like kind of make it a cool hangout spot where there's a microwave there. There's a little kitchen that people can hang out in before they start training. You see other pro bodybuilders there hanging out, talking to them. You kind of want to just foster a culture of people that are in this. That's what I would do. But would I be giving away free memberships? Maybe a couple to people that I think I could that deserve it. But I'm sure I'm probably not going to be giving away no fit model free memberships.
and okay, you mentioned a low day pass. Mm-hmm. I mean, we charge $20. I think that's pretty freaking damn cheap. But regardless,
$20 that's the lowest one right now. I only say this because there's a gym in Texas called what's it called? Big. The one in Austin? What's the gym called?
I don't know.
I forget. Anyway, he's got a $5 day pass, and literally everyone that comes goes to his gym just because it's a low day pass. So he gets a lot of like traffic in his gym, and then people that are local, they pay a gym membership, they pay all the thing. But if somebody comes to town, they pay a low gym fee, $20 and up. Like, I remember I went to Seattle a few years ago and I had to get a day pass at like an LA Fitness, and it was $25. And I about shit my fucking pants because if I was there for a week and I was like, all right, it's gonna be $25 fucking a day for a week. I'm paying for like 4 months worth of membership in this 1 week. Like, this is an outrageous day pass. Like, I think that like a $10 to $15 is what
we have a week pass.
Yeah. They didn't have a week pass.
We have a week pass someone can get for $60.
That's pretty reasonable. That's pretty reasonable.
And we have a 1 month pass that somebody could get for $80.
Yeah, that's fine. That's pretty reasonable.
So I mean, like, we're not trying to like gouge people.
No, you have the lowest one. I mean, BSF is like $35. Every other place, Gold's Venice, I think, is $50 fucking day
Yep.
pass.
And-
Is it 70? I don't know. I think Zool Culture is 70.
And for local people, we have a 7-day free trial.
Yeah.
They can come for a week for free.
No, you're
7
pretty
days.
you're pretty reasonable. I guess maybe I'm just living in the early 2000s
But
with
let me just tell
my
you,
view
let me just
on money.
tell you this. The 7-day free trial people and the day pass people, they're the people that come in and load up machines with weights and just leave. They're the people that break shit and leave.
Yeah,
I just want to say that. Yeah.
I haven't seen that. I'm in there a lot, and I see people that I don't see over and over again. And typically, people are pretty pretty respectful. But you are gonna have random.
I
random
look
idiots.
at the cameras and I see who loaded up the leg press with fucking 800 pounds of plates, and then walks out the door.
I don't think most people can move that much weight. I mean, I know I can, and you and Leo can,
at
but
least once every 2 weeks.
really,
Yes,
I mean-
we're unloading the leg press full of 100-pound plates because someone loaded it up.
good thing
and-
Jermaine's got
and
a
just-
strong back.
and just left it like that.
Yeah,
And lately, we've had more new people, and lately every time I go work out, I'm like putting weights back.
I
They're
think.
just on machines.
Yeah, I think that's just the price of doing business. The more people you get, the more percentage of
But
assholes you're
I'm
going to get.
telling you, it's the new people,
The people that don't care.
and the
Maybe they
people
don't
that-
know gym etiquette.
The people that are on day passes or on free trials. That I tell them the rule we have in the gym is when you use it, put it away.
Clean up it, yeah.
Do they listen? Obviously not, because every time I walk out on the gym floor, there's 10 machines loaded up with weights.
I haven't seen that when I go into the gym.
I-
I mean, you're there.
Yeah,
you're there
because
more
I
than
walk
am,
around
but
between my sets putting shit away.
yeah.
And Jermaine and I, we put stuff away.
I typically put shit away if something is like out in a random spot. But a lot of times these people are using like a plate, they're like squatting with 25s or something. And I'm like, I mean, I'm not saying it's okay, but like it's not usually 585 on the fucking deadlift that people are just walking away from.
No, and I'm going to tell you this: our gym is way better than a commercial gym.
Commercial. Oh, I used to have a membership at Worlds. It's Legends now. They are terrible for people not putting away dumbbells. Like they have like up to I think 150s, and one 150 will be over here, one will be over there, 120s will be up on top, the 40s will be on, like they're just like it's terrible. And I agree that's really annoying when you're just put your shit back where you found it.
It's annoying even when you're trying to work out because you can't find two
Yeah,
dumbbells
that's
that
what
match.
I'm saying.
And there's shit all over the floor everywhere.
Yeah.
And they just leave it as like that.
Yeah, but I mean, that's how it is. Also, I have a membership over at Gold's, and that it gets at Gold's. A lot of stuff is put away, specifically the dumbbells, plates, and stuff. Not necessarily so much, but that's an issue. But they have 10,000 members. They have like at any given time they have 100 people in their gym at
It doesn't matter whether it's 10,000 or 1,000. If people put their stuff away, it'd be away. But
I'm saying like the higher amount of traffic you have,
Yeah.
the more assholes you're gonna have. That's probably like two people that just don't put their shit away.
But it's a policing issue.
It is, yeah.
So when Gold Gym, when I got there first, people would walk around in the gym, people that work there,
Put stuff
and
away.
they would put stuff back, but they would also tell people to put stuff back.
True.
And they would say re-rack your weights. And ever since the Germans took over,
It's gotten better.
it's gotten worse.
It's worse?
It's like yeah, everything is just like in the mech fits in Germany. It's like the day they came in, all of a sudden, it was like Germany. So it has to be because it's run that way, because the Americans didn't change their mentality. So it was like not police anymore. It's just like total socialism. Everyone who works there gets a salary, and no matter what they do, and back then it was like, you could, like, the managers could make money because they sign up more people. It was just all over, like, way better and more incentive for everyone to work hard and to give a shit. And now it's just like so commercialized, and they don't give a damn about anything. They just look at numbers. Then
Yeah.
unfortunately the
And
owner died, who was a little bit into bodybuilding.
mhm.
He died in a plane crash, and his brother took over. And since the brother took over, it's just numbers. They don't care about bodybuilding and Gold's Gym
Yeah.
in the slightest.
And it
They
really has
they
showed.
claim to.
It really shows because you go there and it's just a fitness center now. I mean, like it used to be the Mecca, and they still got a couple remnants of the past. They still got the posing room. They still got, a few good machines, but they're moving the direction of just becoming a fitness center because they just are making that money. And it sucks because like people come from the Midwest. Oh, I want to go to Gold's Venice. I took Nick Walker to Gold's Venice his first time. And, it just is like, it's not the Gold's Venice that it was, pre-COVID. I mean, during COVID, it got way worse. I mean, they moved all that stuff out into the parking lot. Even pre-COVID, it was like it was more bodybuilding centric, but they started going downhill. I mean, they made Lee Priest pay his a day pass when he went in there. And he was on the wall.
Let me also say something that people don't realize. And trainers are especially guilty of this. They think that the gym owner is making tons of money and they're not making enough money. Mm-hmm. I remember I went to work when I first got out of Terminal Island. I had to have a job. I worked as a trainer at Gold's, and I was only doing it for because probation said I had to have a job. Mm-hmm. So I went there and worked as a trainer, and instantly I didn't like all the other trainers there because they were always complaining that they were getting overworked and underpaid. That was their theme, and they were always trying to pull some kind of shit to steal money from the gym. And as I watched it go on, because I had been a gym owner previously and I knew I'm like, okay, you're a shitty trainer. You can't keep clients. You're constantly, and the only reason you're able to be a trainer is because they keep feeding you more new clients all the time because you don't keep any clients because you suck. And that's the only reason you even have this trainer job is because they're doing all this marketing. And so why should they pay you a lot of money? Because you suck as a trainer. I was in my first month working there, without even trying, I was the number one trainer in the gym. Because I actually knew
you were the only person that knew how to lift.
Get clients and I knew how to train clients.
Yeah.
And my clients didn't quit on me. They were all staying with me. But those people, they were just like burned through, and they were constantly bitching about how the gym was taking their money and not paying them enough. But I'm like, okay, well, why would they pay you more? Like, you suck.
Yeah.
You suck. You can't sign up a client for your life. The salespeople have to sign up your clients, and then you can't retain a client. Mm-hmm. So like, you're not really worth much money.
Yeah.
Let me finish.
Okay.
So during COVID, when there was time when first they shut us down, then we had all these restrictions we had to comply with. There was times where like we were barely making it, because like we were just not making enough money. I mean, we were making it, but we weren't doing, I was like counting the fucking dollars to make sure I could pay the rent, and because I still had to pay rent during this time and all this other stuff. Right. And so, for a trainer to think like, oh, well, you're making tons of money and that I'm not making any money. Well, you don't know what I'm making or not. Now, we've moved back to Ventura. We have more clients. Things are better. Okay. I'm still not getting super rich off of this. I'm making enough money to where I don't have to worry about it. The bills are being paid and, I'm not struggling for money.
Yeah.
But it's not like I'm becoming a multimillionaire off doing this. Mm-hmm. And still trainers think that, oh, you make tons of money and like we don't get paid enough.
Yeah.
And, and then you have Dave Palumbo saying, like you're being cheap. Dave Palumbo,
you probably got like $2 million worth of equipment in your gym.
How many, hold on. How many athletes does Dave Palumbo RX Muscle sponsor? None. Why don't you have professional bodybuilders that you sponsor and give free supplements?
There's no ROI.
Exactly. So, but me as a gym owner, I should give away free memberships. To just because somebody has a pro card.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that it's a marketing thing. If you think that someone's worth bringing in for free and whatever, then
I'm all for if someone's bringing me business. If I have a trainer that's kicking ass, I'm going to bend over backwards to help them kick ass. But if I have someone just walks in and they're all entitled, and they're not bringing any value, why am I obligated to give them a free anything?
Yeah. All right. Any other closing thoughts? Anybody?
I agree. Business is business. Everyone has to look out to keep his or her business alive.
Me personally,
if it just doesn't add up and you can't finance it and you're just handing out freebies, then you're gonna go down, and then no one has a gym anymore.
Yep.
Me personally, I don't like borrowing things. I don't ask for nothing for free. I never have. I feel like I need to earn whatever I get, and I always have. I've never asked for free shit from anybody.
It's actually disrespectful if you ask for free shit. If somebody, every gym membership that I've gotten for free, or pretty much anything I get for free, it's because somebody reaches out to me and says here's this is, but I never go to them and say, maybe I'll go to something and ask for a free thing. I'll say, hey, here's what I'm going to give you. I'm going to create this content. I'm going to spend a bunch of time. I'm going to do whatever. And then I'm going to give this to you. I'm going to post this on mine, as a give and take. But I never just call someone up and say, hey, I'm a pro. Can you let me in for free? So, that's like the difference. And somebody that does feel entitled to that, I mean, they're just absolutely wrong.
Yeah.
I've never, like I said, I've never expected anything for free.
Yeah.
But
I think it's disrespectful.
I don't think I've ever been given anything for free.
If you have a friend that owns a business and you just ask them for free shit, that's disrespectful, because they're in business to make money. They're not in business to be a charity.
Yeah. Why doesn't Dave give me some free protein?
Well, I mean, you should, because you help his business. You're on his podcast every week.
I'll defend Dave. He sent me free stuff the first time I was on his podcast.
All right.
You're special, because I've been on his podcast for
never got a free.
And I've gotten a free nothing. Not nothing.
All right. I want to hear.
Yeah, maybe I can teach you to kiss ass without kissing ass.
Did you guys?
Maybe I got it in me.
Did either of you guys go to the LA Fit Expo?
Yeah, I was there, but I didn't see that show, by the way. So
I was just going to ask about how the expo was. Normal.
It was half as
half as large as normal.
Booth populated in terms of booths as the year before. So the booths were down. They gave away free booths to some influencers so usually you have to pay for a booth, but it was so bad for them.
Wow.
But there was a lot of people though. So the visitors are coming, but the
businesses aren't.
The businesses aren't.
And then did I hear Larry was on your podcast, or?
Yes, that was great. That was really cool.
When are you going to drop?
We have to edit out two little things because I don't want to get him convicted.
You don't want to get canceled?
I don't want to get him in prison again.
So we're probably gonna drop this episode in a day or two. But what day is his episode gonna drop, do you think?
Probably in 2 weeks.
Okay.
So Sunday in 2 weeks.
Maybe around February 12th, 11th, 10th?
Something like that. Yeah.
I think Super Bowl Sunday is February. Is it 9th? February 9th, I think, is Super Bowl Sunday.
That's probably. Oh no, the week later. It's the week after.
What would that be? The 16th? All right. So keep a lookout for that. And then tell us about just a quick excerpt of the Jay Cutler. How was that? The Jay Cutler podcast. He did it because he was in town for the Fit Expo, right?
Yeah. Yeah, he reached out to me and said, "Hey, let's do a podcast." And Jay also said on the podcast in the end too, like he actually never does any podcasts, and because he has his own.
Yeah.
But I wanted to get into his mind and his story and his upbringing and his ups and downs and how he dealt with hardship and losses. And like he was so sharp and so talkative, and like I almost had to ask no question. He was going and going and going.
I'm definitely
So
gonna
it, it,
catch that one.
it
I'm
was
definitely gonna
pretty
listen
good.
to that
It
one.
was pretty good. And in the end, we talked a little about happiness and purpose and things like that. You know,
That's cool. Yeah, I look forward
good.
to hearing that one. That'll probably be out. You think next week or something like that?
That's going to be out this Sunday, which is the 2nd or
February
so.
2nd,
Yeah.
3rd, 2nd, 3rd. So, all right, let's wrap it up, Larry.
So again, this is Larry Pollock, Luke Carroll, and Leo Mayerhofer coming to you from Underground Pro Gym Podcast. Again, don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave your comments. I'm sure there's going to be plenty, and we'll want to hear your thoughts on all of this. And Leo, go ahead and promote your stuff.
One more time, Overcome Podcast on Instagram and YouTube. Just type it in, or my name, Leo Mayerhofer, or Austrian Powers. There you can find my personal stuff.
And all this will be in the video description as well.
Nice.
All right. Thanks for coming, guys.
I believe that the fires were cast upon, on the flames we shall become. I believe in a common calling, where our temples pray as one. I believe in the word